Hi everybody. Nicci from Gracie's house here today. Hope you're all getting ready for Christmas. It's very exciting. Had Gracie's birthday yesterday. So just those of you that don't know me, I'm Nicci and I'm a brand ambassador for Redesign with Prima. So I've wound down a little bit, not been doing a great deal the last couple of days, getting ready there for Christmas, like I just said, and Gracie, my little girl, her birthday yesterday, so not a lot's gone on. But I did manage to get these two pieces prepped. And I feel like every week I've got a story, I've got a reason for why I'm doing these things. So as per that trend, these two pieces have a story. So I have this little toddler sort of high chair. I'm sure you've seen a similar kind of product. Most of us that have had kids have probably had the IKEA version with or without arms. This one is actually from a friend of mine, and she messaged me a little while ago because her parents are moving house and all of her things, so they're having a big clear out. And she said, I've got this high chair, I've got these other few bits and pieces. If you want it, it's yours. I thought, brilliant. What an amazing project to use Hi Jackie, and who, I forgot that, Hi Piero. And I just thought, brilliant, I can do it in a really pretty colour. I can use the Sweet Lullaby transfer. It arrived, so that was the plan. That was going to be today's live. It arrived, it was in my kitchen, transitioning to the workshop. Gracie spotted it, and her IKEA one is beyond trashed, and it didn't have the arms. So she's not really used that for a while. It's got left outdoors, it's been rained on, it's a mess. She spotted it straight away. She sat in it and said, well, I like this, I'll have this, thank you. So the plan had to change. So there is our reasoning for this piece. This has been painted, pre-prepared and painted. So it had a very, very shiny old finish. I've just cleaned it, scuffed all of that off. And this has been done with 2 coats of Fusion in Sacred Sage. And you might think it's a strange colour choice. This is the colour that I have my kitchen cabinets painted. Well, nearly all of them. It's a midway finished project. So that's the reasoning behind the colour choice. Second piece, we're going to be doing basically them as a pair if I get to the second one. And I know you'll all have seen these in IKEA if you've not got at least 1 or 2 sets in your house. Again, this has been with us for years. It had previously been painted. And my husband decided that he was going to, when we moved him into the garage, he was going to use this to help him get up high, and it got absolutely covered in grey masonry paint on top of the pretty colour that I'd previously painted it. So going with our theme, I've cleaned all of that paint off, sanded it all back again, and that has also had 2 coats of the Fusion Sacred Sage. So I'm trying to bring my kitchen into a bit more of a theme rather than having lots and lots of random colours. I'm going to tilt the camera down when I start, so don't worry, you will be able to see what I'm doing. And this is one of the new transfers, Beautiful Things. I'm sure you've seen lots of people using it. This is the one we've gone for. So the other floral one, which I can't remember the name of, because this is the one that is in my head, was a little muted, would also have worked really, really beautifully with this colour. But we decided if we're going to go for some florals, let's give it some pop. And I still think there's some really beautiful vintage tones that will sit lovely with this muted greeny grey colour. So I have not pre-prepared any of this in as much as I haven't cut anything. I've not decided which florals I'm going to use. Historically, when I'm doing lives on this in this group or on this page, did I say, I can't see any comments, very rarely. I might get the odd one. So please don't think I'm ignoring you. We haven't worked out how. It somehow seems that there has like 2 sets of comments going on. If I miss anything, I will catch them up. Roz is also watching, so if there's anything you need answering, she will help you out. But please don't think I'm ignoring you. I will go back and I will check everything and answer everything. Okay, so we have got some beautiful, if you haven't seen this one yet, anybody, let me just roll this out so I can show you the individual sheets. So there is some beautiful colourings. And they can go on all sorts of colours. There's a lovely little blue piece here. There's one here that's got quite a grey tone to it. Love this. I mean, I'm a real fan of this sort of blush pink, so they're going to work beautifully for me. Oh my goodness, look at this. Ooh, pretty. I'm going to turn it that way up. It feels like it should be that way up. Look at that one in the middle. Oh, I'm using that. That's definitely getting used today. So they are just absolutely gorgeous colours. And that's the third sheet. So there's plenty to work with on here. So I'm going to do the high chair first. And I am thinking... Oh, sorry, I'm going to stretch my back in there. I'm thinking I do like this cluster here. Now, my favourite thing to do is to butt up to the edge. I don't really want it just... I'm going to tilt that camera down now. Now you've seen my face enough. Let's just tilt you down a bit. There we go. You can see what I'm doing now. There. I hope that's okay for everybody. Okay. So I think I'm going to use this, and yes, if anyone's watched my lives before, or if you've seen some of the things I do, I'm very much a fan of not having things kind of floating. If that's your bag, obviously that's not an issue. My personal preference is I like to have it kind of butted up to the edge. And on this, obviously, so that would mean I lose some. So I just need to work out which part I'm going to use to make the most of it. And I think what I could do is kind of cut it at an angle through the middle here and then flip it so I've got two parts to work on. So I think I'm going to do that first. So let's just cut out that one piece. And I might be able to just kind of put some little bits around the edge as well. My husband's trying to distract me by looking at me through the window of my workshop. So I'm ignoring him, and that will infuriate him completely. So this is the piece we're going to use. So it's a question of whether I just use, do you know what, actually, it's nice and big. I think it's going to work if I just cut around that edge. And I might even just wrap it along that front edge. Should we do that? I think that will look cute. I might have more of it, so I'm not losing too much. I think that will look really pretty. What do you think? Yeah, I think that's going to look nice. I'm not too bothered about filling the entire seat either. I think that is what I'm going to do. Yep. So we're not going to cut it in half after all. There, that feels right. So there is a bit of a curve here, so I'm going to get this flat piece done first. So I always press it down with my hand first, just so you made sure that you've got a little bit of contact at least. And I have the transfer, the stick tool that comes in each of the parcels, and I also have my transfer tool. And I'm always saying I alternate between both. And it all depends on kind of what the surface is, with the curve. These work really, really well if you've got grooves and you're working on kind of drawer fronts and around edges. For these big flat surfaces, I prefer the smaller end of the transfer tool. But on this, I think actually I'm going to prefer the feeling of the... I think it's just got a little bit more give when you've not got a completely flat surface. So I hope everyone, I mean, I feel like I'm quite organised for Christmas. How about you guys? How do you feel you're getting on with Christmas? So we have the double whammy of Gracie's birthday being yesterday as well. And normally we try and do her kind of birthday stuff with her friends really early on in December. Because obviously people have family commitments and stuff. This year, nobody's had parties, have they? So, poor kids. But yeah, so it just feels a little bit different for us this year, birthday-wise, because usually we kind of get a load of it out of the way earlier in the month. Whereas, I mean, our postman, he absolutely adores Gracie. And he's just turned up this morning with a birthday present because he was busy yesterday, and he's bought her a gift. Our postman. It's so lovely. So, and then I'm going to just use my fingers to gently fold that. I'm going to do that first piece first, the big middle piece. Get that edge done. Sometimes it feels like you need multiple hands, but alas, just the two. So I'm just going to do a little snip here, just so there's no transfer on that piece. It's just so that it's not fighting against itself. And luckily, because there's no transfer there, it's worked really well. So it's just so that you can either stretch it or you can overlap it ever so slightly if you need to, where it's curving. And we'll just go along. I'm going to wrap that piece under. That little piece there, so I can get that piece released, and then I can do the same and snip it here. Oh, these are the best scissors. I know it's the simple things, isn't it? I bought myself some new scissors last week, and they're working really well. There we go. That's not. It's not. The underneath is not quite stuck down yet. More important right now. I'm going to do another little snip there so that when that wraps underneath, I'm not fighting against it. Kind of doing that a bit blind. That one doesn't want to stick down. Do you know what? I didn't paint all the way under, so it might be that it doesn't like the super shiny surface under there. The original finish. If not, I shall just sand that edge. That's no big deal, because that's not the piece I want to see anyway. Okay, it's sticking, that's fine. I think that's stuck. So have a little go at that piece. So yeah, my kitchen cabinets is an ongoing project. It started at the beginning of lockdown. I've only got one block left to do, but I've been so busy. I've just not had a chance to catch up. So I'm once this is done, my general top coat that I use is the Dixie Belle flat or satin clear coat. But because this is also going to be highly used, I'm going to do 2 or 3 coats of, I haven't got them either to hand, so satin or flat, and then I'm going to go to hide it as well. So we don't recommend using Gator Hide directly onto transfers. Some people are fine. Oh, I've got some comments. Yay, Lisa. I don't know if you're the only one that's commented. So you got some, oh, you need some new scissors. Yeah, these are really cute. They came in a pack of 2. I know it's the simple things. And you used your Violet Hill last night. Lovely. That's gone on really, really nicely. What was I saying? Yes, Gator Hide. So we don't recommend using Gator Hide directly onto your transfer. But if you do need it in a high traffic area, if you do other water-based top coats first, then you can Gator Hide afterwards. But directly onto a transfer, it can cause problems with it lifting and cracking. So we do not recommend. How do you think that looks? What do you think? Pretty. It's nice against that colour. You came back in and your comments disappeared. Oh, goodness me. Oh, Lisa, do you know what? I have no idea. It's very frustrating because when I go at the other end, they completely disappear. Alison, you use the clear coats and Gator Hide. Yes. I mean, I have to say, I also use Polyvine, the dead flat and the satin finish wax finish varnishes. They are very good also. I love the feel of those. Are very, very nice. Facebook is playing again today. Honestly, Facebook, I had for like 3 days, all of my notifications to my page was set. I had nothing new. They were all saying it was 2 days old. And every time I tried to get rid of them, they just kept coming back. So I'm loving that. I'm going to try and find some small pieces to try and just pop along here to enhance the back. I think that's going to be tricky because these are bigger florals really, and I don't want to. Let's just get up the sheet. Have a little look. I could put some leaves across it. That would look nice. And the leaves are very tonal to the colour that I've used. Alison, you've never used wax as a top coat. Do you know what? If it's not in an area that's going to be, if you're not going to be putting things down on, the Easy Peasy spray wax is really, really dead easy to use. Have I used anything else? I'm just trying to think. If I've used other waxes, I haven't. But the Easy Peasy spray wax goes over transfers really nicely. Okay, let's have a little think how I might be able to just get those on there. And I think if I cut along, yeah. So I use my plastic transfer tool to, if I'm trying to make an edge, a crease, or follow a line that I need to cut. There's no exact science. I did this the other day and it just gave me a guideline for my scissors to go along. I tried using the scissors, but the edge was actually too sharp in the end. So I hope this works. There we go. And we're left with a piece that sort of just about fits along that curve. Pretty much. So I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to layer anything else over the top of this one. I had a look at the stamps that I've got and some other pieces, and I think, I'm not sure, one that will go in my kitchen particularly well. And two, yeah, I don't think gold, like putting an extra gold in, I'm not sure yet. I don't know if that's going to work in my kitchen. Wouldn't it be like, oh, do you know what? I've just thought, I'm thinking moulds. I might add some moulds to this. I haven't got anything to hand, but I was just thinking if I had actually got some leaf moulds, because doesn't it look pretty with them stuck up like that? Is that just asking for trouble? Maybe they'll get broken off. So I'm going to wrap my leaves around the top as well. I'm going to do a little snippy here, so that that'll lay flatter. Okay. And I've got a big surface area to play with when we get to the step stool, which could be fun as well. Can layer up a bit more. It's all happening this Christmas. A friend of mine is in hospital in labour as well. So we were hoping at one point, or Gracie was very much hoping, that she was going to have a little baby to share her birthday with, but that didn't happen. So we're all waiting with bated breath for my friend, for the baby to come. So that's all very exciting. Who doesn't love a baby coming? I think that's quite cute. It's subtle. Let me bring it to the camera so you can see a little bit more. So can you see just a little sprig of leaves? Cute. Okay, that's good. And do you know what? It's got these cute little the little small blue ones. They're sort of, yeah, they're definitely blue, these ones. So that's the more purpley colour, those ones there, and that one. So these are definitely blue in comparison. My scissors. I'm just going to pop one for now. I did similar on Gracie's rocking chair and just popped it on that little, on there. So I'm going to do that. I'm actually loving the background colour against the tones in this. Where's my stick? There it is. Against the tones in this transfer, it's just lovely. Alison, you like that? Good, 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 good. I've got a feeling, I'm pretty sure, normally I see Roz pop on, so I think we're doing the strange, ghosty 2 sets of comments. So I think she's probably dealing with a whole different set of comments than the ones I'm dealing with. Okay, I'm liking that. The other rose is much too big to sit, so the other small blue one is much too big to fit on there. And I haven't got any other of those little sort of almost buds. But I thought what would be quite sweet is to have some more of the leaves, and they would fit perfect. It's like it was meant to be, guys. So I'm going to pop them, actually I'm going to pop them down there so they're kind of wrapping around rather than them stopping on the edge, because everything else I've done is wrapped around. So I'm going to go here and then wrap it. I'm going to cut that extra piece off there. Don't need that. This is the other reason I needed a better pair of scissors, because I was using like big chunky kitchen scissors and you just can't get in to the details that you need to with those. So we're going to go here. Oh, that's going to look pretty. And I'll do this piece in a minute. Just need to see how that one's going to work around, because it's sort of got quite a sharp point on that doesn't really look right. Let's cut that off like that. That's sticking to my fingers now. There we Lisa, what shade is the base colour? It's the Fusion Sacred Sage. So, I mean, in the jar, it looks like a grey-green. When it dries, it's got this lovely, I mean, it's a real chameleon colour. It's a blue. If you put it with greys, it looks blue. In some lights, it does look like that sort of greeny grey. I love it. It's a really, really classy colour, and it's, I mean, it looks stunning with these leaf tones. Let's just pop you there. You see all that? It just looks really pretty. Very sort of eucalyptus-y. That's a good, I think, yeah, it's kind of a, you know, that pale eucalyptus green that's got a bit of a blue hint is very much like that. Okay, so for now, I think I'm quite pleased with this. I don't want to go too much further with this. It's all gone on really nicely. It's all nice and smooth. Oh, loving it. But that transfer has gone on very, very easily. I like that. Okay. And after transferring, is there a need to apply sealer? Yes, absolutely. So the only thing that you really wouldn't want to use a sealer on if you're using transfers is glass or mirror, because obviously you're going to cover the glass or the mirror, and you'll give that a look and you'll see brush marks. you can just clean those with a cloth. If you're using it on furniture, absolutely recommend sealing. Water-based clear coats, top coats, varnishes. Gator hide is the one that we don't particularly advise you using straight over the transfer. If you are using something in a high traffic area, like I'm going to be, these are going to be high traffic. That's going to be sat on a lot by Gracie. This is going to be stood on a lot. I use this to get up and do the light bulbs. Hi Sharon. So yes, I will probably use either the flat or the satin clear coat by Dixie Belle, just because that's what I have in my stash at the moment. There is a file. If you go into the file section in the group, there's a file and there is a form that's got all of the recommended top coats from all the different brands. So that's the best place to go for that information. I will then gator hide it over the top. So if you need to have something that's high traffic, I will put gator hide over 2 to 3 coats of previously applied satin or flat clear coat. So I am looking now at what we've got here, and I can see a couple of pieces I'm loving the look of. Oh, this was hiding. I know I've looked at them just now, but this is hiding. Look at this piece. So I'm going to use this, aren't I? I'm definitely going to be using this big bit. Definitely. Definitely. So let's cut that piece out first. And I actually do love the this yellow flower. This yellow one's rather beautiful as well. That'll have a real vintage, very vintage look up against this colour. So I'm thinking I might do, say that here, but again, I'm going to wrap it around the top. I might even take it right to the edge and then leave the end. I'm not sure. I'm going to do that piece over on this top corner. I'm also loving this piece here. So I'm going to cut that piece out because I'm going to put this on the step as well as the top. So that could go, I think that could go down there quite nicely. And there's another piece on it, which I think I'm going to... I did like that one as well. There's just too many beautiful parts of it. Sharon. Oh, thank you. I make everything look fabulous. I'm hoping this is going to bring a little bit of vintage, like, gorgeousness to my kitchen. That's the plan. What's just fallen off of there? So let's have a look. I think if I have that like there, and I can add that one over there, layer that, I might kind of layer those two up together. And then I'm feeling this one on that bottom edge. Let's get rid of that leaf, we don't need that. And save all your scraps, all these leaves and things. They're great to keep. You can add them to anything. The leaves, what we've got there, Lisa, crazy. It looks green in the light and grey in the shadow. Exactly, Lisa, and that's exactly what this colour does. And you know, if you put light on it, I did a piece, and it depends what you put with it. I've done a piece that had like a real kind of abstract concrete effect wallpaper in the back. It looked completely blue. In the pictures, I couldn't get it to not look blue, and it did look blue. It's a really unusual colour. Love it though. Okay, so let's start with the biggest piece. I'm just going to go on the top. I'm not going to wrap these ones. I've just decided. I've just made my decision. So I'm going to try and I need a straight line to work on. A straightish line. I'm going to do my best. So I'm going to go about halfway. These are great. These ones with the grids. So all of these newer ones are printed with the grids. And so even if you're not using the lines, you've still got, you can still work in between those lines. So that works really well. If you're not working with square shapes, then obviously it's less of an issue. Okay, so I want that to kind of butt up to there. That's going to work. And then centimetres maybe, 2 or 3, it's 2.5. So I'm just cutting it off where, again, where the edges are. So it's going to sit like that. And I'm going to obviously I'm going to lose the hole, but so be it. That's how this one's going to do. Let's have a little, I think I need more colour in that corner than that. Maybe not. Maybe that's going to be the colour I need. No. Okay, I'm going to get that piece on and work from there, because that was my gut, was to use this piece here. Maybe I'll get this on and I go, do you know what, I don't need any more on there. It could happen. Stranger things have happened. So I'm really glad that I've actually got some comments coming through, because it's really difficult to know if something's gone wrong. On the last couple, I've just not had any. But then when I go back in afterwards, they're all there. It's really strange. Maybe we've got it sussed this week, hopefully. So for those of you that don't know what's going on in the UK, because I know we've got all sorts of... Lisa, you think that that's enough on the top, do you? You might be right. Sometimes less is more. I know we like to add all the beautiful things, but yeah, so those of you that aren't kind of completely up with what's going on in the UK, because I know lots of people that are watching aren't UK based, the area I'm in, they've added us a new tier. So we had a tier system, 1, 2, 3, and in the middle of the week we got put into tier 3, which is the highest alert. And then on Saturday, so middle of last week, and then on Saturday they just made up a new tier. So we're in tier 4. So we're basically in the full lockdown again, because we have the new strain here. Aren't we lucky? From your angle, yes, you think this is enough. Okay, well, let's see. We can take this piece off. And what I'm going to do is I have just my craft knife, and where the hole in the middle where you can put your hand in to pick it up and carry it around, I'm just going to slice down the middle with my craft knife, and I can see there's a little shadow there, so I know where to stop. And so that when I get to that bit, I can just fold it down onto the inside of there. I think that's what we're going to do anyway. I think that's what I'll do. Sorry, I realise I go quiet every now and then when I'm really concentrating. I've got to get out of that habit. So, can you see what I'm doing? Do you know what? I'm going to angle the camera down a little bit more. Or shall I come back? Is that better? That's better. Sorry, you couldn't see what I was doing, really. And going around and burnishing the edges with your finger is really handy. I also have one of these, just a microfiber cloth. I got a pack from eBay or Amazon or whatever. And I just use that. And that does the same job as well. That's quite handy. You don't want to use anything that's going to stick to your transfer, or anything that's fluff. So those microfiber cloths are great because they're lint free. And so they really do a good job. Just going to go right up to the edge of that handle hole. And you see where the handle is, or the handle hole, should I say, I'm going to peel back, but that's where I've cut it. It will then fold back and I can get it stuck down. think they've really, Prima have really been working hard developing the adhesives and stuff on the transfers. I think these new ones are just amazing. There we go. So I've just pushed my hand into the hole to get that bit stuck down. So there's going to be a bit where there isn't any transfer, but because it doesn't follow the whole way through, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't curve. There's not enough transfer to work from a flat to a full curved hole. It's enough. There's enough in there to carry it around. And I like to lift from all the angles on these last bits, just so that you don't get anything that tucks under itself. There you go. That's exactly what happened there. That's fine, because that's the bit that's going in to my handhold, so it's not particularly on display. So I had a bit that folded. See, that's what happens when it folds back on itself. Luckily, that was in my handle hole, so it's not so much of an issue. A little bit there we go. So that's the top bit done. And Lisa, I think you're probably right. I don't think it needs any more. What have you got there? I expected them to be more sticker-like, but they're like material paint finish. The transfers. Oh, you like the transfer quality? Yeah, these. I mean, they've all been great, but these new ones are just absolutely fantastic. But yes, I think we might leave it at that on the top, and then let's have a look what we're going to do on the step. Let me move the camera down so you can see the step. Is that better? Yeah, I think we can do that. But I won't be able to see any comments at all because I'm faced so far down. These are the two pieces that I cut out for the step. So let's have a little look. And I always like to look at the angle that the flower is, because to me this should go this way because the flower's facing up. I don't know if that's just me. So that would be cute there. And it kind of fits, that flower just fits here onto where the step cuts in. It balances well with the chair. Lisa, I think you're right. I think we're good for that. But I really like this yellow one, and I want to get the yellow one in somewhere. So maybe I could put half of the yellow one here. Maybe. Oh, that would look quite nice. What do you think, just on that piece, like to there? I think that would look cute. Hi, Catherine. I quite like that there. And then maybe I can layer in just a little bit of yellow over there. Yes. I think that's a plan. Lisa, you don't like that bit there. I'm not sure. You don't like that bit there. No? Just on the bottom step. Okay. Okay. Do you know what's throwing me off is these leaves are kind of curving round here. Let's just cut that closer to there. So you have to think about how you're placing things sometimes, and then also if you're going to do a little bit of layering, you also just need to think about in what order you're going to apply them. So you don't want a leaf. For example, if you were to have this layered with this, you don't want to be adding that on afterwards. You want that tucked behind it. So you need to put the leaf on first. So you just need to think about how you would layer things at times as well. So that would go over there maybe. And perhaps just that layered under there. Might look quite nice. I don't think I want the whole of that yellow flower. So let's cut that. Let's do that. Let's go I'm cutting halfway through my yellow flower. I'm not going to throw that away. I will probably use that somewhere else. I'm going to use that, say, here. And then I'm going to probably just cut along that piece, maybe a little bit less than that actually, maybe more like there, to sit here. So we're going to do the yellow piece first, because I want that layered underneath. Let's just make sure I've got it where I want it. Put that there. And it's going to go around about there, I think. I'm going right up to the edge of my step. Desperately trying to look around the workshop to see if I've got any of my clear coats that I can do that while I'm on, but there's nothing to hand. The clear coat's clear coat. You're happy with what I've you happy with the way I've gone, Lisa? I'm just, do you know what? I'm just loving that I've got some comments and that I can interact, because otherwise I might have gone off in a completely different direction. Who knows? There we go. Interactive. Well, that's the beauty of lives, isn't it? Oh, that's going to look gorgeous. What do you think? Gorgeous. Yes. Oh, do you know what? I think this is going to be a regular for me, this transfer. I love the colours in it. And this is going to work with so many different coloured bases. Oh my goodness. What colour base would you guys put with this? Lisa, I'd love to top coat for you, but I haven't got any. That's not in my. I can't store my products in my workshop. So in the summer, I could store my transfers in here in the winter because it's nice and cold. But in the summer it gets too hot, so I couldn't store my transfers in here, and it's the opposite way around for all my other products. So my paint can't get frozen. So I have to, when I've got like lives planned or when I come down to the workshop from the house, I've got a toolbox, like a caddy, that I bring everything down that I think I'm going to be using that day. I mean, of course, there's always things that you think, oh, do you know what, I need to go and get that. But generally, I try and have a plan for the day of all the products I'm going to need. I'm one of those list freaks. I love a list. You put it onto a nice cream colour, Catherine, like a vintagey sort of, maybe like a farmhouse. Oh, a farmhouse sort of neutral, beautiful. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's lovely. It's gone on so smoothly as well. Always nice. I'm going to lift it up so you can see it even more. Beautiful. Okay, let's get these two pieces out of the way. I don't think I am going to put any more on the top. I think we're all right. I think that's cool. I'm going to lift the camera up. Oh, sorry. All you can see is my hand. Hello. Lisa, Anchor, you've got 3 pots of it. That was extreme. Why did you buy 3 pots? Have you got 3 pots worth of project to do? So let's let's just recap what we did. So I've been using the Beautiful Things. So there's still loads left. Look at all the pieces I've got left. So I've done 2 projects. They're going to be really effective in my kitchen. I've got all of this one nearly left. I've got that big kind of bouquet. Let's call it a bouquet. I've got lots of bits of leaves that I might add in. I might add in some leaves, but I don't think it needs them. They've got their own greenery already. And then I've got that nice sort of peachy coloured one and some more leaves and half a yellow flower. So there's a lot left. And I've already got 2 projects out of that one transfer tube. So they are really good value for money. I make mine go a long way. You need the purple flowers in your life, Lisa. They are stunning. I can see, in my head, I'm just seeing like this whole sheet over a colour like tea rose, or, you know, that muted sort of pretty dusky pink. Oh my gosh. And these, the blue and the kind of grey one. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Really pretty. So I'm just going to lift them up so you can see again what we've done. So this was, I cut the edges off on this one, and we had a half of the yellow layered under, you know, a bit. So we haven't wrapped around on these ones. On the chair, we use that big sort of bunch bouquet, and I've wrapped it around the front just to finish it nicely. And then we've got a little bit of detail on each of the arms, and then that little bit of, oops, let's just pop you down. The little bit of leaf on the back there, just so that it's just finished off. You could add some moulds. I don't know if I'm going to. I'm actually kind of loving the effect they've got at the moment. I might have to dry brush a little bit of Eternal on the edges. I know I said no gold, but I think it might work. So I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to leave it and see if you notice what I do when I finally photograph these pieces. So that's me done today, guys. I really appreciate you. I'm going to just lift the camera up a little bit more. Do you like my G and my H? Can you see it? It's that side. They light up as well. How cool are they? My Gracie's house. I really appreciate you all taking the time. I know it's this time of year when we are all frantically trying to get everything ready for Christmas. I am on at the same time this time next week. So I'm lucky enough that my slots didn't interrupt with like the true Christmas too much, and I've managed to keep my slots quite well. So I will see you this time next week, hopefully. Thank you again for spending time with me, and I hope this makes you want to go out and buy this transfer, because I swear this is stunning. Beautiful Things. The name says it all. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye.